Hello, everybody. What's happening? Dr. Thunder here, and this is my Two Dads React show. It's a collaboration with Tony from God Rules, and we've been best buds since fifth grade. How about that? I think we met in the library, but we didn't meet in the library because we were looking for books. I think we were both like hiding from the teacher or something. I don't remember what it was. But anyhow, but we met in fifth grade, been best buds since, um, and Tony's a passport bro. Well, he's been passport bro before passport bros, right? And but we're married guys. We've got a family. We're dads, lame-o dads, and this is our we see things from a Christian worldview, and so we're kind of looking at world events and looking at what's going on in Hollywood and other places that are pumping out a lot of propaganda. In particular, we're concerned about how it affects kids and family, and we're reacting to a lot of these current events. But we've been a bit of a hiatus over the last few weeks because Tony's been globetrotting a bit, but he's back and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Today's show, Terrence Howard, Usher Raymand, and Jared Leto, to name a few, and a lot of weird and demonic stuff going on in Hollywood, but that's nothing new. We're just reporting stuff that seems to be reoccurring in just the state of affairs. Man, a lot of crazy stuff going on, and of course we still have there's an election coming up. There was a debate, I don't know, what was it, a week and a half ago or whatever. It was a debate, and Sleepy Joe was looking particularly sleepy. And so there's a lot of upheaval right now in the Democratic Party, deciding on what they're going to do. So it's a kind of a strange place. Supreme Court just ruled that that a sitting president, as long as he's doing something that is official, is now immune to prosecution. And of course, the Trump derangement syndrome is full force, and so folks are just assuming that and of course Project 2025 are Trump's doing, and he got his guys in there and now they're doing his bidding like this. But it turns out that presidential immunity has been something that's been developing since 1867, and that's probably a bit before Trump was around. So that's interesting. And also with the supposedly this Project 2025, well, that's actually Heritage Foundation, and we know that the Heritage Foundation has been a standard reference. It has been a staple in the conservative world. Agree or disagree with them, their plan was to put this stuff in place no matter who was the president, as long as it was a conservative. So, yeah. So anyhow, there's a lot of stuff that's swirling about. Many things have happened since the last time we did a show. But yeah, we're ready to go. We've got a lot to discuss. This business with Terrence Howard and his unusual way of viewing physics and mathematics is sort of creating a lot of buzz, a lot of haters. Some folks, at least, are willing to acknowledge that there's many things that he's saying that actually make sense, although it seems like he's also not Yeah. So one times one does equal one. Um, and even if you multiply some, you multiply something by zero and it is zero. And okay, anyhow, so we have some things to discuss. This is going to be a great show. Going to be a great show. And when we return, two dads react. Let's go. Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. And we back. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Become a channel member where you'll get access to all archive videos, support independent media. Super chats enabled. Super thanks for the replay gang, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Dr. Thunder Music, all one word. Spell out the word doctor. And we're back with Two Dads React. What's happening, man?
Oh, not much, man. It's been like a month or more than a month, right? A month and a few weeks or a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Hey, why don't you scoot over
Yeah.
just a little bit so you can center up in that square,
Oh, yeah, there you
or in that rectangle, I guess I should say,
Yeah.
or maybe it is a square. Terrence Howard might think it's a square.
Yeah, actually, he had some good stuff to say. I did some videos on it. I did a couple videos covering him, but we're not just talking about Terrence Howard. We're actually going to talk about a lot of other stuff too.
Yes.
We're going to talk about some of these Usher and Jared Leto, and a bunch of other stuff. Actually, he has a weird cult going on apparently as well, which is kind of strange. But yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your adventures abroad.
Well, actually, right when I left, or right the day we were leaving, I went to Kroger, to get some stuff right before we left, right? And I tried to go in, and they said it was closed, and there's like a cop out front, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then while I'm on the plane, my other friend sent me. I have a friend that sends me text sometimes, a researcher. He sent me a text that apparently there was a dude in the bathroom that was taking something that he pulled out he went around and decided to shoot somebody apparently, and he was in the same Kroger that I was trying to go in, like an hour before I got there or something. He actually went around and started doing that, and he actually shot at some lady in there. And so it could have been me, man. It could have been me in there like an hour before that,
Yeah.
right before I left. I thought that was kind of crazy, but so that's how it started. My whole trip.
Well, glad you're glad you're all right. Glad you made it.
And it's the one I go to like every few days. Like it's right near my house, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and you know I take my I had a conversation with my son
Hmm.
recently where I was just like, it was a short conversation. It was kind of like, you know what, I need to tell him that if we're ever in public and I lean down and I whisper to you, run in that direction and don't look back, or if I say get stay close to me, or anything like that, and it's nonchalant, don't ask me questions about it, just do it. you know
Right. And this was just some white guy. He live streamed it too. I don't know what he live
oh
streamed
my
it to,
goodness
Facebook,
gracious.
or I don't know what he was live streaming it to, but like I know I when he did the live stream, I actually recognized the bathroom and everything. He walked down the stairs and he says, "Oh, I'm just going to find a random person and do this."
Oh,
And I can't remember. It was some woman, just some random woman. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Because like where I live, you don't see this stuff ever happen almost ever. So
right.
I'm like, it's pretty shocking, and it just makes me wonder what's going on with the world even more because the world's going crazy, man. I don't know about
Totally
you,
crazy.
but
Totally
I
crazy.
was actually thinking I should stay in the Philippines and not come back because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to come back to crazy town. I come
Yeah.
back here and I feel like just everybody's crazy. Honestly, I really feel like that sometimes. I
Yeah, this
actually felt
place
more
is
normal back over there, so.
yeah, this place is going to he double hockey sticks uh
I
in a
was thinking
handbasket.
I don't want to be here when all the stuff happens right before the end of the year because I know they're going to do a bunch of stuff here.
No, no, no. You can't avoid the tribulation, man. You gotta
It's a presidential tribulation.
right. You got you gotta weather the storm. You gotta last through the tribulation, and then you'll be saved.
Yeah, yeah. So what are they going to do this time? I have my next video on my business channel. Actually, I'm going to do it on my God Rolls 2 channel, I think, as well. They're doing a bunch of weird stuff with food now. They're like, I don't know if you heard of this
Mm,
company called Appeal.
mm.
Uh, Billy Boy, the computer guy, Gates, he owns this company. He also owns a tons of farmland, but there's all these TikTok videos of people taking bananas and bending them in half and they don't break. And then they got like they're like rubbery. They're supposed to last longer in the store. And so you want to be careful before you buy your produce. You make sure it's not Billy Boy's bananas or something because honestly, it looked really weird. Like they were taking this, I don't know if it looked like a blueberry and they like stretched it. He was like, there was a watermelon. He bent it in half and it didn't break. You know how easily watermelon breaks. He like bent it in half. Like we're talking the red part. We're not talking about the green part. Or red part. He bent the red part in half and it
Mm.
didn't break. And I'm like, what is going on? Look what they're doing to the food, man. Like
Maybe,
it's so
maybe they have that
ridiculous.
loaded with the what is it, the plastic particles or whatever that now
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I don't know. They said that they were just covering the outside with it, but the fact is whole thing bends in half. Like it sounds like it's through the whole thing. Like it,
uh
when I was in the Philippines, they don't have high fructose corn syrup and everything. Here, every single thing you buy has
yep.
got high fructose. And if you look into it, the reason why they put high fructose corn syrup and everything is because unlike sugar, your body can't recognize when it's done eating it. So when you take sugar in, you get sick of it. You're like, I'm good. But your body doesn't do that with high fructose corn syrup. That's why they want to put it in the soda, because then you just keep drinking it. Your body never says stop. You're just like drink, 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 drink. And that's why you got these guys that are 600 pounds, trying to lose weight and stuff.
It's interesting with the high fructose corn syrup. The invention of it was not nefarious. They actually were trying to solve it's like a world hunger type of thing, because it's really inexpensive
It's cheaper.
form of calories,
Right.
And so they
Then
were actually
Americans were eating it.
Right,
That's the only people eating it.
Yeah, right. Well, they were trying to fix it in issue, but then now it's like, well, it's so cheap and it's habit forming, and so now it's like people don't want to not, so that ends up being the thing. So it's like greed. So folks are greedy. So now it's like, I don't care if this stuff is poisoning people or not.
Exactly. Like, I bought some soda. I had to go to the Mexican supermarket just to get some regular sugar soda, and I'm like, and you just drink like half of it and you're like done. You're like, I don't want any more. It's like that. So it's way different.
Right.
So we're going to get into some good stuff here. You got some videos?
Yes, I do. Got all kind of videos.
I got a Cardi B that's a really weird one I can send you. You can play too.
1 second here. I got to remember that. There we go. There you are. You said you got a Cardi B one?
Yeah, like where this guy like snaps his fingers and then she just freezes, and then he like snaps and he does a couple other things and then she starts talking again. It's like really crazy. I got a lot of weird stuff like that I can show you.
All right, so here let's do this. Let's start with this, and this is to kind of get us kind of up to speed on Jared Leto. We'll start with Jared Leto. So this is not a new video, but this is just to give us a little context on who this dude is, and he's like a method actor and like this. And he's kind of a crazy dude. But here, check it out.
How Jared Leto went too far with his Joker role. Jared Leto is known for being a method actor, which means he immerses himself in the character he is playing and stays in character even when he is not filming. For his role as the Joker in the movie Suicide Squad, Leto took his method acting to a new level of intensity and controversy. Leto spent some time in a psychiatric hospital to observe people with mental disorders and get into the mindset of the Joker. He also sent some bizarre and disturbing gifts to his co-stars, such as a box of bullets to Will Smith and a live rat to Margot Robbie. He also appeared in a video where he addressed his castmates as the Joker in front of a dead pig. Leto's actions were not well received by some of his colleagues, who found them unnecessary and disrespectful. Will Smith said he never met Leto out of character and felt like he was working with the Joker, not Jared Leto. Margot Robbie said she was initially shocked by the rat gift, but later adopted it as a pet. Did you know?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, he's pretty strange. He's a pretty strange dude, but a lot of these loonies, these Hollywood loonies, are just like this. This is him again here. This is more recent. Here we go.
One last little fun question. I'm looking at you, and you do look like the depiction of what they say Jesus is. Do you get that a lot?
Oh no, the Jesus thing? No, I've never heard that before. But there is a funny meme of a Brazilian grandmother that had a picture of me on her refrigerator, and she thought it was
Jesus.
Thought I was the man.
Yeah. How do you feel about that comparison?
He's a classic. I mean, it could be worse. It could be Ronald McDonald.
Okay, so he's he's playing dumb a little bit there. Obviously, he probably gets that all the time, that he looks like Jesus or whatever. It's probably part of the reason.
Did you see the one that's like where he got some cult or something? Did you ever hear about that?
No, I don't have that. Maybe you have something.
I sent you a link. It's on Smosh. I think they're just, it's kind of weird because like I don't know if they're being serious or what, because it shows them. It's weird. It's just weird. I guess we can watch that.
I'll open this, but I've got this other one up here. Let me do this here. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, I'll make that big over there. Okay, so let's watch this one first, and then I'll play the second one you sent.
Wait, who's that? Who is that? Who is it? Jesus. It is Jesus.
No, that's not Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
All right, here, let me play. Let me play yours. Let's see here. Let's see what they're talking about over here.
Shut up!
No. Yeah.
What the heck?
A lot of people think of Jared Leto as just an Oscar award-winning actor, a musician, or the 2012 award winner for Hottest Male.
Is this right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But to me, he's a visionary.
That's me.
At this point in my life, I was in a really dark place, and
Like you were locked in a shipping container?
no, like,
Oh, did the power go out and it was nighttime and you forgot to put new batteries in your flashlight?
It's like a joke
no,
thing.
like I was in a dark place emotionally.
But I mean, he actually dresses up like this is just a joke, of course. But
Right.
there's this one where there's actually a serious one here. There's another channel that has one from Good Fight Ministries where they say he's literally got a satanic cult. I don't know if it's true or not, though. I just sent you the link.
Is it the latest one that you sent me?
No. I just knew that there. It's like I think they're. It's really strange. It's almost like they're saying they're like joking that he doesn't have one, but then he does. It's like that. So this is kind of the joke
Leto
one.
was-
It's weird. Yeah, go ahead.
So is it this one? This one here?
Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. This is just talking about him.
You can play the beginning. I'll probably say a little bit.
Oh,
in the
wait a minute.
beginning.
Here we go. Here's the culty stuff here.
Okay.
Following is very culty. Okay. So here.
videos, but also in some of their promotion. 30 Seconds to Mars, that is the band, and Jared Leto on his Twitter and Instagram or whatever. One of the things that he does over and over again is he wants to make his fans feel like not just fans. He actually calls them a name, the echelon.
What about your fans? Your fans have been so supportive of you. If I put out a tweet involving Jared Leto, there are people who want to favor it or retweet it.
Yeah, it's incredible. We have the most amazing fans, for lack of a better word, in the world. And that's all about 30 Seconds to Mars. There's a group of people out there called the Echelon that are going to be very, very, very proud. They're going to be partying tonight. So thank you.
And this is something that is commonly practiced by a lot of different groups, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But he likes to flash words up on screens, specifically in one of the music videos. It's called Up in the Air, which is not from their first album, but from a subsequent album. And throughout the interview process of this album, he talks about faith a number of times, and he also talks about orgies as well. And it's very interesting because obviously this isn't the faith.
Speaking of orgies, orgies.
It doesn't go well to it. That's kind of a weird thing to be putting together there, I guess.
Yeah. I've been watching, rewatching Rome, the HBO series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude. I mean, just like, okay, so it's, okay. So the HBO stuff those series are really well done. Like the writing is great. The acting is incredible. The storytelling is great. The cinematography is great, but it also is loaded with a lot of nudity. Like in The Sopranos, for instance, a lot of the scenes took place in a strip club with a bunch of topless girls. You know, it's just like that's just what HBO. It's part of what HBO does. Rome is no different. So a lot of the debauchery and stuff that we know was going on in Rome during, they have a bunch of depictions of that.
Bacchus was worship to a god, and they would get out drunk and stuff. And then there's other ones they would do sexual stuff and rites or whatever. Yeah, they have all that. Cybele worship. I think that was sort of like a little different. It was kind of trans-ish.
Something else that they do, and because, you know, now they're not overtly doing this, but it's like they're trying to poke at Christianity, because during a period of time when Christianity was not the religion and they were, you know, worshiping whatever, this god or that god or the moon or, you know, mother god, whatever it was that they were worshiping, they would be saying prayers that would sound very similar in cadence and in subject matter to usual Christian prayers, you know.
Oh,
but
so
instead of
they're
the
they're like trolling or kind of messing with people.
yeah, so
that are
like
Christian
instead of it
religion.
being like a prayer with the saints, Mary, maybe like a Marian prayer or something, it would be like of some like other goddess something. Or like there's a scene where a guy like baptizes
they're the
himself.
fallen angels. They're like
Huh?
worshiping fallen angels. Yeah, the divine council. They're worshiping basically beings that got created. You know, most of the time, most of the what those are. Yeah, I talk about it on video. I mean, like after the Tower of Babel, God set up divine council beings, watchers over different nations. We would call them small g gods because they had supernatural powers. They were supposed to lead everybody towards Yahweh, but instead the devil went around and tempted all of them to seek worship for themselves. And that's where we get all these gods like the Greek pantheon, the Roman pantheon. They're basically just the beings that used to serve around God's throne that were part of the council that were set over these nations, and then they fell. They all fell. And that's why God brought forth Israel and showed the true way. Because like each nation was supposed to be led by one of the council members, and then since they all fell, the only one that was on the right track was the one Yahweh created, and then the Messiah came through Yahweh through that one. But
yeah, but this guy like baptizes himself, and the guy that's baptizing himself, he kind of looks like Jesus, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And he says something
he did that.
Yeah, and he was like, I baptized myself in the name of, you know, like it's like some stuff like this.
Seriously?
It's like, man, that stuff was, I mean, we do know that there were other baptisms, and the baptism in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit was unique and set apart from that. But to try to act like to try to like do the revisionist history stuff that obviously originated with Christianity as far as subject matter, cadence, in just, you know, it's just like, come on.
I think that's the atheist thing. I think that's the atheist thing where they try to say Christianity stole all from the Roman religions and stuff.
There you go.
It's BS.
All right, let's play a little bit more of this.
Of us wanting to follow and have the faith, which is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, of the resurrected Jesus Christ. But this faith is something different. And if you want a little insight on what kind of faith you're supposed to have and who you're supposed to put your faith in, just take a look at the very image that is put up when the word faith is put up in this song, Up in the Air. It's interesting because you're obviously seeing the pentagram there.
Yeah, it's the pentagram. That's right.
That's Jared Leto's music.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so we get the idea. We'll get the idea. Let's keep going here. Let's see here.
Yeah, he recently dressed up with like with a cross that was made out of the stakes that were in Jesus' arms, and he put blood on his hands. There's a recent video of that where he was doing that. So he's just mocking, I think. Oh yeah, this one.
I want to deal with. I'm trying to hold up here. I'm trying to find my. Okay, there we go. This is the one I want.
Mario.
Right
That's
here.
Mario. No way, dude. Pull that back. That guy right there. Is he back on YouTube or is that an old video? No, the one in the red shirt. That guy.
Yeah. No. This is an older video. That's right here.
That's TVC Mario, man. I haven't seen him in years.
All right, so let's see what he's talking about.
Check this out. Jared Leto in the next Joker movie is depicted as a psychotic representation of Jesus Christ. I've been saying it forever. Hollywood, which I call Hellywood, is ultimately blasphemous in attacking God. If this doesn't, brothers and sisters in Christ, make you throw out your satanic television idol, I don't know what will. At what point will it take you to realize that this is a tool of the enemy to blaspheme our Lord, which we love preciously?
You know who this guy is, man? He used to be really big on YouTube like 10 years ago. He was the Vigilant Christian. and he had like 500,000 subscribers, and he used to have a ton of videos, and then he ended up he's basically off YouTube now.
All right. So speaking of demonic Hollywood, right? Right. Here we go.
I genuinely think that the entertainment industry worships Satan. I mean, when Sam Smith goes out there and does it on the stage, it can't get more straightforward than that, but people might say, oh, well, that's just performance art. That's an act. But we see it on the back end too. Look at how Christians are treated in Hollywood. When Christians make a film like Nefarious, it gets destroyed by the Hollywood critics and blacklisted even when viewers rate it as a good movie. According to people like Kevin Sorbo, there is an open blacklist against Christian actors in Hollywood, and we don't really need to speculate about that considering Chris Pratt was forced to apologize by simply saying that he believed in God. So I don't think it's a game or an act. I genuinely think that this is an industry that worships the devil.
Well, might be into
Yeah, it might be the
something there.
case. I don't know.
Might be. Hey, what you got for us? What you got for us?
Oh yeah, there you go. You saw the eyes. His eyes look a little strange. I think maybe he has contact lenses in, or is it just his pupils are super huge? I don't know
actually,
which one it is.
one of the videos I has addresses that and asks some kind of pretty interesting questions about that. But
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were even at the Met Gala that were like trying to avoid him. It sounded like too a little bit, but actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about Terrence Howard. I talked about this over on my own channel. One of the things he said, actually, I think he just sort of misspoke a little bit. He was actually saying electromagnetic gravity was electromagnetic in nature, but he just said electric, and I think he gets that from Tesla. I covered that over on my other channel as well. But I covered the Foucault pendulum and how that actually relates. The Foucault pendulum, essentially what's going on here is that during a solar eclipse, the Foucault pendulum changes its direction by 13 degrees in like 14 minutes or something. And that shouldn't happen because the Foucault pendulum is supposed to follow sort of basically the rotation of the Earth, and it changes directions during a solar eclipse. And this actually sort of lends credence to what Nikola Tesla taught, that gravity is essentially an electromagnetic principle. And that's the reason why I think Terrence was saying that. So I actually kind of agree with him on that. But some of the other stuff he said was a little bit crazy sounding, because he said, 1 × 1 = 2. I don't think it's crazy. I think he's just trying to be getting attention. You know how like Kanye West, he'll go and say something crazy and everybody's like, what? And they all watch him, right? To go watch the video of him saying the crazy thing, right? I think that's what Terrence was doing. He was just saying something off the wall, and people were just like, what? 1 × 1 = 2? And then everybody watched it. And that was the entire point. I don't think he literally believes 1 × 1 = 2. I think he was trying to make a point that it doesn't, he's trying to say that 1 × 1 = 1 doesn't really apply to physics and reality. Something like that. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Right.
I think he's just trying to get eyeballs on himself, kind of like Kanye does when he says something crazy, same exact idea. But so, I mean, that's what was kind of going on with that. I already covered it over my channel, but it is really interesting looking into Nikola Tesla. I just bought this book, and it's really actually kind of interesting. I got it. It's called, what is it called? Worlds in Collision, Immanuel Volkovsky. And this book essentially is from 1950, and he sort of had an alternate sort of thoughts on how everything works in physics and in our universe. And he made a bunch of predictions in the book. Okay, actually, I can show the book. It's called Worlds. Is it Worlds in Collision? Yeah, here we go. This book right here. And he made a bunch of predictions in this book back in 1950. And everyone in the scientific community said he was crazy and his predictions were wrong. And guess what? Every single one of his predictions so far has come true, which is kind of amazing. So he actually kind of goes the way of Nikola Tesla, saying that we live in an electromagnetic universe. And it makes sense if you think about gravity. So gravity, when they tell you about gravity, they say gravity is just two masses being attracted together, right? This is basically what they say gravity is. But they don't tell you, if you think about it, it doesn't tell you why or how it happens, right? Why do two masses come together, right? And so Nikola Tesla is saying it's because there's a magnetic field around these masses, and that sort of brings them together or repels them. And so that's the difference between gravity that is taught today and the gravity that Nikola Tesla was teaching. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but I'm just going through the book now, but it was just really funny that a lot of the scientific community just totally rejected the book, but then the book's been proven right over and over. And it shows you that, the sort of the scientific establishment, they don't allow dissenters. You can't really have a dissenting opinion, which is not really science. In science, you should be allowed to have dissenting opinions and be able to test those opinions. And that's sort of what kind of has gone wrong with the scientific community, I guess you'd say. And it's sort of like kind of got gatekeepers, I guess you'd say, kind of like you see with everything else.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, here's a let me
yeah, go ahead, man.
It's right. Yeah, it's right on this topic that you're talking. Oh, wait a minute, not that one. This one. But check this out.
You're a self-taught autodidact polymath. You haven't been cleaned up. You haven't been taught how to speak properly. You don't know the fact that when you say loop, we know fixed point. I know how to do all this stuff, right? You're not getting a peer review from me. I know a lot more than you do about a lot of this stuff. You're getting an elite review. And my elite review says that a lot of this is bathwater, but a small amount of this is baby. And that's not available anywhere. It's not available in a university. It's not available in a journal. That's available on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Neil's right. If what you want is peer review, you should go to a journal and they will laugh you out. They will take one look at your email address. And if it doesn't end in .edu, I promise you're not going to get hurt.
Do me a favor, Jamie. Can you pull up?
Let him finish.
Hold on, because
let him finish because this is a sustained thought.
Let's go below where we just were, Jamie. I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Here, let me continue on because
yeah.
he's getting into something with this next one here. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Well, I'm gonna show him. Here's where 12 bubbles meet. If you go to the yellow one right there, Jamie, please tap on that.
And this is pretty interesting too. Now, the first video I played, he's making a point that follows what you were saying, which is it's a closed group, and they're going to laugh you out if you're as far as getting peer reviewed. They're not going to review your stuff unless you have an email.edu, unless you have your professor, blah blah blah, like this. And so, since he's an outsider, it's going to be very difficult for him to be able to access that.
Right.
And so that lines up with what it was that you were saying. But then this is very interesting what he's talking about here. And I've got a follow-up video that goes into depth about maybe what this actually, the implications of what he's about to present here. Here we go.
Well, I'm going to show him. Here's where 12 bubbles meet. If you go to the yellow one right there, Jamie, please tap on that. This is where the negative space where 12 bubbles meet. I call this the Arbrian. I named it after my oldest daughter.
Okay.
You can take a look at it, at how it behaves. Here, Joe.
Okay.
So you can have it, and you can have a larger one or a smaller one.
By the way, I would be honored to have
I'm gonna give you some of these
anything that you make of this type in my home. It's very, very cool.
So when I put 10 of them together, they look like this.
Yeah.
I put 20 of them together. They make a natural icosahedron.
Yeah.
Without breaking any rules. I'm saying that the
I believe in this. This I don't disbelieve. I haven't gone through the math, but I don't disbelieve this.
I said the same thing about one other thing. So here's the light unit. If you'll go back to the green, Jamie, please. This is the light unit.
Now we're going to get into some stuff that's not going to be so much fun, but it is going to be, you are going to get what you want.
No, you're going to love this. You're going to love this because what I'm going to show you, as I said.
Whoa.
And what you said concerning, here.
Now look at that.
That's pretty dope.
Put that down. and it'll show you. This is where I've put 20 of them together. The same way I put 20 of these together, and it makes a natural dodecahedron. But what it's showing you is where electricity is being pushed into the center, and you'll see these magnetic waves coming out. It's showing you the magnetic field. So these predict and create a natural dodecahedron, whereas these come together and create a natural icosahedron. That's not something that just happens by accident.
No, this isn't an accident.
I'll put it away.
What's going on, Terrence, for me?
Can you connect all these together in one big ball of fury?
Yes, they just keep getting, because it's supersymmetry.
Yeah.
They all fit together.
I want to see
That's
these
what
and
I'm
these
saying.
together.
It ain't supersymmetry, but it's freaking cool.
Right. I know what you're saying.
But
the problem is that term, right?
Well,
It keeps using
again,
that term.
my point is that you can run into all kinds of terms of art in a field that you don't know well.
Right.
And Terrence is...
Okay, so then he's going to... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, he's talking about electromagnetic. There, right there, he was saying what he meant to say initially in the beginning of the Joe Rogan. He didn't say it exactly right, which was really interesting that Eric Weinstein just completely dismissed. He didn't even want to touch it. And I'm like, why didn't you want to touch it? It's because they've been taught their entire life that gravity is just gravity. There's no way it could be electromagnetic. And I think it's really interesting because, like I said, there's actually proof that this could be the case. And I think Terrence has actually provided some of the proof.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's crazy. I mean, it's just like, how are you supposed to know all the terms that they use, and why do you have to know all those terms, right? It's almost like kind of like they use a different language so they can keep you away from it, right? They don't want it to be in the common language. That's another means to keeping people out of things. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these scholars work with dead languages too, like Latin. Or I said in one video, ancient Greek is a dead language. It's not a dead language. Greek is around today, but ancient Greek is not the same as Greek.
That's
and
right.
A lot of
ancient Greek is dead,
literature.
but modern Greek is alive. Yeah, you're right.
So, but I mean, a lot of these scholarly articles, philosophical writings, a lot of the history is in Latin and Greek, and most people can't read it, and they never translate it into English. And you see what I mean? So it's like it locks it away, so no one can get to it. Just like the Vatican Library, you can't get into the Vatican Library either. You have to know the right people and all this kind of stuff. It's just really interesting how you can't get access to a lot of information. And I even saw this one video where this guy, I don't have it right in front of me right now, but he essentially said there was this garbage pile of literature. It's like basically for lack of a better term, a garbage pile of books that was ancient books. And they have all of these books, and they've only went through 1% of them. And some of our greatest discoveries were in this garbage heap, and they have yet to translate 99%. And they've had them for like 20 years. This garbage heap of books from the ancient civilization. So basically, I think it was in Israel where they found this, or in that area. So it's kind of like a Qumran type of find. They have not went through any of it. And some of our greatest discoveries were in the 1% that they went through. So just imagine if they went through all 99% of it and everybody had access to this information, we would know so much more about our history and everything. It's just like, all the stuff is locked up so no one can get to it.
Yeah. All right, now check this out.
So what does Terrence Howard mean whenever he says that everything is in motion, and that nothing is still because everything is connected?
Okay, objects in motion tend to remain in motion, right?
That was his first law.
But what do objects at rest do?
There's no object at rest.
So you have a problem with Mr. Newton.
There are no objects at rest because everything is sitting on something that's in motion. Everything is in motion within itself.
So this is like there's no straight lines in nature.
All while kind of contradicting his agreement with Newton's theory, which is that anything in motion remains in motion, and anything at rest remains at rest. The contradiction being, how could anything be at rest if everything's in motion? So let's discuss the possibility of how maybe both of those things are happening at the same time. For example, let's say I have a ball on the table and it's rolling back and forth, right? We would all consider that from a conceptual frame point as moving, right? And then if I were to stop the ball on the table, of course, we consider that still, right? But what if at the core, that energy is vibrating and moving, which it is. It's a scientific fact, right? That everything is energy, from my point of view, awareness, and it's all just vibrating, right? And we get different objects in reality from this one quantum field because it's all vibrating at different frequencies, right? So on one hand, the ball is perfectly still on the table. And then on another hand, everything about that ball is vibrating and moving, and at the same time connected to everything else because it's the same one energy, the same one quantum field, the same one awareness, from my perspective. And for those of you new to the channel, what do I mean by one awareness? From my perspective, this is all just like a dream. Everything is made of awareness, right? Look at it like this. In your dream, if I asked you what this table was made of, from an unconscious standpoint, you would say matter, right? You would say energy. But then if you were awake in your dream and lucid, you would say, oh, it's made of awareness, and I am this entire reality. That's what I say is happening right now. Everything's made of awareness. All you can see is arising in it, right? And I guess you could say everything you can see is mind. Mind just being the activity, the vibration of awareness.
Spiritual tools.
All right.
He's trying to connect. He's trying to connect like sort of like science and spirituality. It sounds like, but I mean, in reality, Terrence ain't wrong at all. I mean, he isn't wrong. At a microscopic level, it is vibrating. In a macroscopic level, it looks like it's not moving, right? So that's basically the difference. Right. But I mean, what he's talking about also is that there has been experiments like the double slit experiment that shows that we are actually partaking in our reality, and we actually affect the reality by our observations. Like the double slit experiment, when you observe what slit the atoms go through, it changes its actual pattern on the back paper where the slit is at. So you have the slit, and then you have the back paper, and you have these atoms being shot through it. And when you observe it, it actually changes its shape. So that actually shows that reality is created to react with our own observations, proving that our reality is created for us, is what it proves. But and I've talked about that before in video, but a lot of people are not even aware that's the case. And they've even been able to make I forgot what they call them. There's like these little macrocule type atom structures. I think it's like 64 atoms, and you're able to shoot it through the double slit, and it still did the exact same thing. That's probably about the largest they've ever done. But the fact of the matter is, our observation of things actually changes reality. It's kind of like in a video game. If you make a reaction in a video game, it changes what you see in the video game. It's kind of like the whole thing with if a tree falls in the forest and you're not there, does it make a sound? It's the same kind of thing, right? So I think our reality is, we've already proven that reality is actually being created for us. And I mean, if anything, that proves that clearly we have a creator. And they don't like that idea, of course. They try to take the creator out of everything. But at any rate.
Yeah. Here, let's look at this one. This is interesting.
All right.
Let's talk about Terrence Howard. This is him when he first started exposing his research. And anytime you start talking about things that's outside of the norm, this is usually what happens. That's until he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. Now they're saying Terrence Howard just mic dropped all the science on Joe Rogan. You're a move conventional scientist. You got a lot of explaining to do. This guy said, there's literally nothing more important on earth than listening to Terrence Howard right now. This is just an example, but I need y'all to listen to this.
There's been a lot of debate at the moment in the world of physics and metaphysics. There's been this incredible interview with Terrence Howard on the Joe Rogan show, and everyone's talking about, is the fundamental unit of creation, is it a particle or a wavicle? Whereas Terrence is suggesting that the flower of life is the key to all the secrets of creation. So Terrence Howard has looked at the negative space between four bubbles or four spheres, and we get this kind of shape like a tetrahedron. And he's saying that shape there is the atomic structure of hydrogen. And as you know, hydrogen constitutes 99.9% of the universe. So this contradicts this whole theory of protons and electrons and black holes, because he's saying everything has a male part and a female part. So his work was based on the Walter Russell's cosmology of octaves and frequencies and light. So a lot of people are asking me, like, is he the next Tesla? Well, I believe that his popularity and his deep understanding of the sacred geometry and the pentagons that nest definitely constitutes him as one of the next progressive thinkers in the world, because one of Terrence Howard's most fundamental discoveries is he took 3 pentagons and he put them together at a 120-degree angle, and then he put another 3 next to it, and he essentially got a shape a bit like the dodecahedron that has 12 vertices. Well, this linchpin, he's saying, is the new propulsion system that can be like a drone. So if you turn that into a drone, put 4 of these constructs together, you end up with this amazing new technology that can fly like a UFO, can rotate on its axis. It's a technology that's never been done, and it's even submersible. It's going to get rid of cranes. So
What did you want to say?
No, I think, you know what, I was starting to realize this. My background's mechanical engineering. Yeah, just a minute. I have somebody keeps calling me. And what I was trying to say is that I noticed this with, as a mechanical engineer, I didn't really fully get it until recently. I started to really understand this. Like, so with regards to gravity, like when you think of gravity, you're taught your entire life, gravity is just a principle. It's like a reality, right? And then they tell you that you have 2 masses and they attract. So everyone just takes it as in faith as a fact, a scientific fact, but it's actually a theory. And what if they're missing components in the theory, right? Like what if 2 masses don't attract, and it's not the masses themselves that attract, but rather the magnetic fields around the masses that cause the attraction or repulsion. And then this is what I think is how this technology of, you've seen with UFOs where they move very quickly and they can stop on a dime. They can go underwater at 500 knots and like there's no friction. Like, what's going on here? Well, how can it go through the air so fast and stop on a dime? It's because, look, if gravity is an electromagnetic property and you're able to create an electromagnetic property yourself, then you can sort of like make a gravity that pushes you wherever you want to go and stops you on a dime. So you see what I mean? Like, so you are actually, in a sense, making your own gravity. And so this is what I think this technology is. And maybe they don't want people to know this because of course, then you'll understand some of these other technologies that they have in secret. And perhaps they don't want people to know this technology. They don't want to know. Have you ever noticed whenever, like there's this story about a guy who built an engine that ran on water, and he tried to essentially sell his technology. And in the end, he ended up dying. Okay. Yeah. And I've done videos talking about that, but there's also a Japanese guy that tried to do it as well. He made an entire auto company and tried to make this car, and he couldn't get funding. So it's just like Tesla, his ideas could be free energy. So like you could potentially have free energy. You could move 2,000 ton rocks with this sort of technology. And if it's like a technology that can garner the energy from the ether, which of course Einstein said didn't exist, but he's been proven wrong. I covered that on video as well. I think I have it open around here. Yeah, here it is. So if you show my screen, I can show this real quick.
Okay. 1 second.
There's an experiment called the Sagnac experiment. So first what happened was Michelson Morley had an experiment trying to detect ether. They had a number of assumptions in their experiment, and they didn't detect ether. So they just assumed that their assumptions were correct, and then that meant there was no ether. And so then from there, Einstein said, okay, well, he said, this is how you can prove there's no ether. And then he made up the theory of relativity, special theory of relativity, right? But here's the thing. A little later, another person made up an experiment that debunked the Michelson-Morley experiment and proved there was ether. And it debunks also the theory of relativity. So what I'm saying is, could this be like sort of a cover-up to keep people from understanding better or more advanced technologies, is what I'm saying. So I think it's almost like they don't want this information out there, because then you could have free energy and stuff like that. And they don't want that because you can't make money off free energy. If you have oil and gas and you have to put that in your car, and you don't, I mean, if you had a car running off water, of course they're going to make any money off that, right? But if they have oil and gas, you need that. It's a resource that's limited supply, right? And you have to buy it from certain sources. So if you come out with a technology that completely nullifies a company and their use, then it's going to put them completely out of business. And of course, they're very rich, so they can make sure that doesn't happen. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So this is just kind of a theory I'm having. I'm not saying it's true, but it makes sense that if you had this kind of technology, you could actually move very quickly. You can move very heavy objects. You could move on a dime, kind of like these UFOs do. And I think if anything, these UFOs kind of prove it's true that this technology does exist. That's just another thing, but anyway,
Yeah,
that's just
no,
kind of
that's fascinating. That's an interesting. Yeah.
I've been talking about this stuff for years, but I haven't really kind of put it all together. I've recently just realized, like, what if gravity is just, they're not telling the truth about masses coming together, and it's actually the magnetic field around the masses that brings them together, not the masses themselves. Because for a long time, according to this book, the one I told you about from 1950, Worlds in Collision, they didn't believe that the Earth had a magnetic field at one point. They didn't believe any of the planets had a magnetic field. And his book predicted that all these planets had magnetic fields, and he's been proven right. So this is what's so funny about all this. So it could be the entire galaxy. The gravity is actually these electromagnetic fields around these objects, causing them to move like they do in the universe.
Right.
At any rate, that's what I think Terrence is trying to say. I'm not obviously Terrence is just he's a big voice. He's an actor. He knows how to get out there and be seen. I mean, he's not obviously. There's probably scientists that know much more than him that could probably represent it better. Not me, of course, but I mean, there's this guy that wrote this book, but he might be dead now, Immanuel Volkowski. He seems to be pretty smart. But I mean, there's a lot of other scientists out there that probably know this really well that could explain it much better than any of us could, so.
All right, let's play the rest of this.
Saying that the golden ratio, the phi ratio, the work that's been suppressed for hundreds of years is now coming to the forelight. So that's why I welcome his research, because he's saying that 24 spheres or bubbles, the negative space, is this beautiful architecture of sacred geometry. These contain energy, and we can harness this energy in a new and progressive way. So I believe that he is definitely, in a positive sense, putting on the table a new propulsion system based on the flower of life and the sacred geometry.
If y'all ain't seen this video I dropped in 2022 about Terrence Howard, I need y'all to check it out.
You know what else is really interesting about this? If you look at buildings from the 1800s and before then, like these beautiful cathedrals and stuff, they have a lot of sacred geometry in them.
Yep.
And some say that they actually are, and that the steeple was actually used to sort of garner energy from the ether. There's people that have come up with theories on why all the sacred geometry was in a lot of these buildings, and it doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't build it today. You got a Walmart, it's like a square.
Yeah.
Like we don't do anything like they used to do.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Perhaps there was some sort of means to where they were able to get energy. It's just really interesting. I've done videos talking about that as well. So I think there might have been some understanding about this in the past that's been lost, because we had the world fairs. Tesla was able to bring forth alternating current, electricity. He was able to, and supposedly he knew a lot about this, the sacred geometry as well. It's just really interesting that his works were essentially removed, and Einstein was put at the top. Back when we were in high school, they had Einstein painted on the cafeteria wall. E equals MC squared. It was like everywhere. Like he's the smartest guy ever.
There's a lot of things that we just take for granted, and we've been told them for so long that we just assume that why would they be lying to us about that, or why would they be trying to withhold information? But then as you get older and you learn more, you start to realize that there's always reasons not to tell you the truth. There's always reasons to lie. There's always other agendas that are going on that you don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Money and power, status, lots of things.
All right, let's digress a bit back to some Usher.
So Usher's got some really good songs and hits, but there's something really creepy about this particular video recorded in this year's Met Gala. Check this out.
Usher! Hey! I'm doing well, how are you? I'm good.
Good to see you, baby.
Please tell me about your look.
Alexander McQueen, it's a one-of-one. Sean McGuire and myself decided to put this amazing thing together.
So he's being super nice to this person, he's answering all her questions. Up until now, everything is as it should. But then this happens. Pay very close attention.
Exotic, romantic, and but still within the garden theme.
And tell me about the
It's all a part of it. Just everything. You're looking at this is a true thought, like a cohesive, full thought. You know.
So he begins explaining how everything that you're looking at is a cohesive, full thought when she asks him about his grills. It's quite weird. When he's talking about it, I feel as if he's talking about something else and not the grills itself. And then this happens.
And how did you interpret the theme tonight?
Just as that. I wanted it to be exotic. There's all different types of gardens. Some of them get a little dark, but you gotta have fun, right?
What is going on here? What exactly is he talking about? And if we zoom in this particular moment, you'll notice that we can't see his pupils. It's as if his eyes went full dark, as if he's not even human, or at least this is what a lot of people on the internet are saying. Is he maybe using some sort of lens, or is there something else entirely going on here, something far more sinister? What's your take?
The guy talking there, that's his channel's called That Is Impossible here on YouTube. He's been around a long time as well. But yeah, so like, what do you think about that, man?
Yeah, I mean the dude is doing some strange stuff. You know, the
You think
outfit,
it's the Garden of Eden? He's talking about the Garden of Eden and the snake or something. What is he talking about? With
I don't know. He's talking about some dark, perhaps some demonic stuff. I don't know what he's talking about. Listen to this woman here. She has an interesting sort of couple questions she asked about this.
Now, y'all can tell me that this Usher is the exact same one from just a couple months ago.
It's all a part of it. Just everything. You're looking at this is a true thought, like a cohesive, full thought. Exotic. There's all different types of gardens. Some of them get a little dark, but you gotta have fun.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but if you look closely, you can obviously tell that he has like no pupils. It just looks all black. And just a couple months ago, you can see his face looks totally different. And here he just looks more consumed. He has like all black around his eyes, which just makes it even creepier. And what he said really just adds on to everything. And if you even look at J-Lo, which a lot of people were also pointing out that she had this demon face syndrome, but then again, you guys let me know what you think and if you agree, because obviously a lot of celebrities have started to take Ozempic, in which losing weight can also take out the fat from your face.
Yeah, J-Lo looked way different there. That was weird. I didn't even look like her.
Yeah, she was looking pretty
great.
spooky. Here, let's go back to that real quick. She was looking pretty spooky. Hold up here.
Oh yeah, find that spot where her face was, because it looked kind of strange, man. It was back a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Where was it? No, but a little bit before that. That's the face that some people see. It's supposed to be a new syndrome that you see demon faces on everybody. Okay, I don't think that's a syndrome. That sounds like a demon doing that. You know
Right, right.
Her face does look kind of strange there. I sent you a video link. It just came out. What was that? July 6th. It's from the Off the Curb, and he's talking about Cardi B, and shows a really interesting clip in the beginning.
Was that the first link you sent me?
Oh, the one yeah, first and last. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, play that, man. It's really strange. And that's not the first time I've seen Cardi B do this, by the way. I've seen her do it another time. I've seen her do it another time in another interview where she just kind of froze. I've seen her do it like at least 2 or 3 times. I think it's 3 times I've seen her do this. But this one's really strange because he does this clapping thing to get her to stop or something. You'll see what I'm saying.
Watch very carefully, because no one can explain what happened to Cardi B.
Yes, be involved. Y'all want to be involved so bad, but nobody asked me about them gift. What's good?
Look at the other host.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. Take the gift cards.
Now notice how he claps 3 times and then it's as if nothing ever happened.
Take the gift cards, take the gift cards, take the gift cards.
Yeah, because they might put, what's that thing that was going around in the...
The internet had a lot of questions to ask when this clip was first released.
He didn't move, blink, or nothing.
Notice how the presenter suddenly changes when she says, "Holy."
I saw a video like that where he was just standing there and he looked like he's frozen, like just not moving at all. I saw Bill Clinton like that once in one video. It was really strange. It looked just like that, dude. Like he was just totally a statue, like for like 5 minutes straight, not even moving at all. It was very similar. But yeah, this one's really interesting too.
Holy Ghost.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
The king of rock and roll, and as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the...
As you can see...
Yeah, I can't talk right now.
That's really strange. All right, I'm gonna head.
All right, yeah. Somebody kept calling me. I'm trying to. All right, we're done with that. The heck, dude.
All right, here we go. Let's go back to some. This is not a new video, but here we go.
It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on, and people manipulate young women, they manipulate kids, and at the end of the day, it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So I've seen some shit where you're like, that's just not right. Like, that person shouldn't be talking to that person. That person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. When you're in this position to change people's lives, and you hold the keys to what they consider success, you see a different aspect of the person. People will do anything to achieve their goals, and then people will manipulate and misuse that energy to get what they want.
Everything that Nick Cannon said in this interview explains exactly how Hollywood is. He explained how people manipulate people when they're coming up and rising into fame. And we've seen this with people such as Harvey Weinstein and others. He also explains his own experiences where he's seen things that he just doesn't believe is right. And what's even more disheartening, he talks about how the industry manipulates kids. So drop in the comments and let me know what you guys think of everything Nick Cannon said.
Okay. Here's another one here. And he's saying that this is like he's talking about demonic possession, and then he uses some examples that are pretty interesting. Here we go.
Demonic possession in Hollywood is very real.
The moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears, and my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
So she just explained possession. She said the way that she talks changes and her posture.
Now, I'm going to say that some of what he's saying, I think, is totally reaching, because, I work with musicians, artists, I work with singers, all kinds of folks, and I understand what it is that is being talked about. That doesn't necessarily have to be demonic possession, but I guess it's possible that it, could be in some cases. So I just wanted to put that out there. Let's go.
Is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago.
She's saying that she has another personality in her that was created only a few months ago, and she literally summons it.
Now, I think that she might actually be demon possessed. That chick is crazy. I'm sorry.
Hey, I got a weird clip I could show. I got a clip that, actually, it's on my video. I got like almost a million views on it. Let's see if I can show this.
Okay, 1 second here. Let me head over to you.
I have to send it to you. Because it's pretty crazy.
Okay. All right. While you're doing that, I'll.
No, I just sent it. I just sent it to you with the timestamp. It should go to it.
Okay. Let's try that.
And if you don't think this is no. And by the way, the video I got it from no longer is on YouTube. I think I haven't been. We had ones in the past. Okay, this is me talking on video.
All right, here we go.
That's like Billie Eilish. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this here, but I'm not going to play it. But if you watch it, what ends up happening is she bends backwards and starts sticking her tongue out, and it looks very, very much not like something a human could do. I mean, look, for one, that's very difficult to put your back like that. But I mean, she's standing completely normal, like as if there's no difficulty in doing this. And then she starts, it just looks, when you watch it, it's extremely, it doesn't look human. It doesn't look normal. Okay. I didn't play the clip actually, but there was a clip on YouTube, on a YouTube short. I don't even know if it's on YouTube anymore, but it was really popular. And dude, it looks not like a human could ever do that. It's just so ridiculous. And it was like some fan that took the video of it, right? So she's just, her feet are literally normal. She just like, just backwards and then sticks her tongue out and goes, like this. Like, what the frick, dude? Mm-hmm. It's like in the middle of a concert, you know? It's like, what? There's like a lot of clips like that. There's actually many clips like that. I've seen a lot of other ones too. But actually, there's one of, even Terrence Howard says he talks about method acting. And he talks about, he says he empties himself and becomes a garment and he lets the spirit in. He says he lets the spirits in. And then he says he looks in the mirror and he looks for his aura. And I guess apparently this is something some people in witchcraft do or something. I'm like, seriously, dude? So this is stuff they like say that they do. I actually have a clip of it here. Is this the part? I think this is it here, right here. I have it right here on the, I timestamped it too. I just sent it to you.
Okay.
If you want to play it, it's pretty crazy.
As an actor, you're more like a medium. Mm-hmm. You know, when you really get there, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are. Mm-hmm. And you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now, right. A lot of people sit up there and do impersonations of other folks, mm-hmm. you know, instead of allowing that spirit, you know, but I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place, mm-hmm. go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off and, you know, and search until you see your own glow, your own aura, and then you watch it change. Wow. And it's a scary thing because you'll feel like some hands are on you, wow. and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if you stay with it, you know, you'll be inhabited by mm-hmm. something, and then you walk out, and the character's wow. with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it. Right. If you...
That's Nick Jones.
Yeah.
You've seen him before, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he's literally just admitting it. Like, this is what some of them do. They like just literally let something take control. And then he says you say goodbye to it when you're done. I mean, some people are like, oh, that's just symbolic words and they're just pretending. I mean, dude, seriously, if you're an atheist, they'll try to explain it away like that. But I mean, he literally said he lets a spirit take over. I don't know how much more direct can he say it. I mean, how much more direct can you say it? I don't think you can say it any more directly.
All right, here we go. Let's keep going here.
What up? What up, bro? What up? Roman's revenge is just about taking control. Saying Roman is here to stay.
And we literally promote this behavior.
Dude, that chick is weird, man.
Have you heard of the Rain Man?
If I do come back, you know my new name will be. What's your new name gonna be, man? Rain Man.
It's weird because I started out technically, like I used to write all the time, you know, before I started going into the Rain Man thing, you know.
Going into the Rain Man thing. Oh, maybe they're talking about the movie? Let's see how Eminem references it. So he just said that his name was not meant to become him, but now he's possessed with the devil, and his new name is Rain Man. All the while making his audience chant Rain Man. Supposedly a demon. Lil Wayne. So do you think these guys are paying homage to some sort of entity that possesses them and allows them to have the abilities that they do? Maybe it's just a stretch.
Yeah, it's out there. It's kind of weird.
Well, there's something that's pretty spooky. I got one more for us here. And this is go ahead. Here we go.
This is proof that the music industry has a demonic agenda. I mean, look at this. This is The Weeknd before and after. This is Katy Perry before and after. This is Kid Laroi before and after. This is Madonna before and after. Taylor Swift before and after. Playboy Cardi before and after. Trippie Redd before and after. A$AP Rocky before and after. Travis Scott before and after. Eminem before and after. You see, the devil works by deception, and most people say, chill out, it's just music. But what they don't know is that the Bible says faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. So when you're hearing lyrics written by the devil, all you are doing is growing faith in the devil and his plan to steal, kill, and destroy in your life. If you want to know how to break the devil's power over your life, watch the video below.
All right.
Lots of crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, those before and afters were pretty like, oh, snap.
I got another one for you. This is kind of funny. This is a channel I watch sometimes. Oompaville. Have you ever heard of Oompaville? It's kind of a funny guy.
No, here I'll let me hear. See, here we go.
I just thought it was funny what he's had to say here. He's just kind of joking around.
All right. Let's see here. Where am I at? Okay, there it is.
Scorch west to the southwest. Imagine if this was real, though. How much of a fool do you think you'd feel like? I just feel like such an idiot. Joe Biden's from Asgard. He's actually 16,000 years old. So he's doing kind of well, all things considered.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause.
Now, that is cool. And to be clear, I'm not sure that there are that many flat earthers who believe this is you know, the reality.
What the heck?
Pause.
Let me get that again.
All things considered.
4 more years. 4 more years. Pause.
Now, that is cool. And to be clear, I'm not sure that there are that many flat earthers who believe this is you know, the reality of the situation, all these different little worlds and stuff. They think the earth is just like a thing floating through space. There's definitely somebody who believes this wholeheartedly, though, and that makes me sleep better at night.
So why are they teaching the globe model? Well, you see, the globe is a container.
Okay.
It's just kind of funny. I was just trying to put it out there.
That is.
He's saying, like, what if Antarctica's actually got all these other places outside of it, and Biden's from one of these places? You know, he's actually 16,000 years old. He's doing pretty good considering his age. You know, so
right.
I don't know, man.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. You have anything else you want to talk?
No, we're good, man. We covered everything, I think.
Yeah.
Although we got to get it revved up for next time. Get more people on here and stuff. I think people forgot about this whole show a little bit, so we haven't had as many people this time.
Yeah, no, that's all right. We'll get it cranking again. So anyhow, thanks everybody for being here. Like, share, comment, subscribe, become a channel member where you'll get access to all archive videos. Support independent media. Super chats enabled. Super thanks for the Replay Gang, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Dr. Thunder Music, all one word. Spell out the word doctor. And check it out. I've got we've got, we'll be back next week with another great show. Two Dads React, and see you later.
Yeah, see you guys. Stay out of trouble.
Bye.